Hi everyone. This video is to review updates and changes to the new lighting tool coinciding with the mid-year downstream relaunch. Here's a brief overview of what we will be covering. First, a quick introduction and general information and review on events leading up to now concerning the mid-year launch. Next, I'll discuss how sunset measures or measures that have been removed from the offer will be reflected in the lighting tool. Then I'll share updates to luminaire level lighting control or LLC data collection and organization in the tool. After that, do a quick review of selectable or adjustable wattage fixtures and how to input those in the tool. Then I'll wrap up with some small updates, things like the updates to the other category for existing equipment, and then a new wattage tier notification. So as a reminder, we shared the new incentives, measures, and other program information at the 2025 mid-year launch seminars in Medford, Bend, and Wilsonville. We also recorded a live webinar, which is available through the Insiders Forms and Documents page. And more detailed information on these mid-year changes are available on Energy Trust's website. The updated lighting tool, which will be used for all projects from now and going forward, is now available to all trade allies. It can be accessed at energytrust.org/lighting_tool or through the insider page. And this recording reviews key changes to the tool, which I went over in the agenda slide, and it should be used for all new downstream business lighting projects going forward. As always, please contact your account manager with any questions or email lighting@energytrust.org. Okay, measure changes in the lighting tool. So as we shared in the mid-year seminars, multiple measures can no longer be offered through the downstream program due to sunsetting. This includes TLEDs, case lighting, pin-based CFL replacements, and low wattage screw-in lamps. These measures can no longer be selected in the lighting tool. Now, other more specific measure applications that can no longer receive a standard downstream incentive, things like standalone interior fixtures, 160 watt or greater HID to LED screw-ins. So those can no longer receive standard incentives, but they are still available for selection through custom. So you can see in the screenshot here, we have a standalone interior fixture, which cannot be incentivized through the standard downstream offer, but it can receive a custom selection. So they can be included in custom projects. So again, to review, the measures that were sunset and can not be selected in the lighting tool at all are TLEDs, case lighting, pin-based CFL replacements, and LED screw-ins for low wattage, 3 watts or less. Measures that don't receive a regular downstream incentive, but are selectable for custom projects are standalone interior fixtures, so no LLCs, and specific wattage range, 160 watt or greater for HID to LED screw-ins, and then also 1500 watt HID street lighting. Okay, so probably the largest change here are how LLCs are represented in the lighting tool. So as a general overview, LLC selections are now made in the equipment type tab, and they are associated with their interior, exterior, and high bay equipment categories. So if we look at these screenshots here for interior fixtures, you can see that you can select the standalone fixtures or the fixtures with LLC included. Same thing down here with the exterior example. So you will not be going into the controls tab to modify and add that you're doing LLCs. They are all selectable right here in the equipment type tab. So when you are adding an LLC measure to the 103L, it will automatically populate row records in the control tab. So there will still be information in the control tab for the LLC, but you do not need to add anything else. Whatever it populates, it will stay that way. Any additional information you're going to add is going to be in the equipment type tab. So in these screenshots here for the controls tab example, you can see that control is already included. It populates all the information that's necessary. And so then in the next slide, this is an expanded view of the equipment type tab, and where this is where you will be adding in the specific LLC settings. So all fixture and LLC incentives must have their settings completed in columns T through Y. So on this screenshot, we have here, these columns are the LLC settings that you will be filling out each time you're installing an LLC measure. So we'll have high-end trim. This was on previous versions of the lighting tool, so that's not new. But what we've added here are the occupancy sensor, so selecting if it's occupancy or vacancy, what that dim percentage is for the occupancy. That's a range. It'll have the sensor timeout for the occupancy, so how long does it trigger for? And then we have two questions here revolving around daylight harvesting and the photo cell that's in the LLC. Are there windows in the room, and is daylight harvesting enabled? So all of those settings are required to be input. So if you have an LLC and you do not fill out the LLC settings, then the lighting tool will not generate an incentive from being calculated. So you can see here on the bottom screenshot here, we have a proposed equipment for LLCs that does not have all of the settings filled out. You'll see here that it says you must fill out the LLC settings in the equipment type tab. So that's very important. I'll say that again as well, that for all LLC measures, these settings that you commission are required to be input in the lighting tool to generate an incentive. Okay, so that does it for the LLC changes. Move on to the selectable wattage changes. These are fairly small, but if a fixture, you're installing a fixture in the equipment type tab, there is now a selectable field to identify whether that fixture is wattage selectable. So if it has ranges, then if it does, you will choose yes for wattage selectable. And all selectable wattage equipment must be entered with the installed wattage setting, and that influences what measure tier you are selecting. So as an example, this bottom one, this LED fixture, let's say it has 3 wattage settings. You can set it at 40 watts, 50 watts, or 60 watts. According to the lighting tool, it's being installed at 50 watts. So this is the correct measure tier and wattage tier that was selected, 40 to 57 watts. If you were installing it at 60 watts, this would not be the correct tier. You would need to choose the next wattage tier up that would incorporate 60 watts in that range. So the takeaways here, if you have an adjustable wattage fixture, that's what you're installing. Let us know, select that it is wattage selectable, and make sure that the setting that you install it at is what is on the lighting tool in terms of the wattage tier. Some changes to other for lighting equipment. So the lighting tool now distinguishes between four kinds of quote other being replaced. So this is when in a project you have some existing equipment that doesn't have an appropriate value existing in the lighting tool. You would originally, in previous versions of the tool, you do other. Now, when you come across existing equipment that isn't covered in the lighting tool, you can select other, and then select the option that most closely describes the equipment that's being replaced. So we're really just drilling down into, is this an interior application? Is it exterior? Is it functioning as a lower high bay? And then also, is it an LED? Now, LED to LED upgrades are not incentivized at this time. But if you want to capture that, then that is selectable in here. But again, you will not generate an incentive if it's an LED. But we now have at least some other specifics here that you can select. And as always, when you are selecting other and then other, provide information in the fixture description column. And please talk to your account manager about what details to put in there. But those are the updates to other, just a little more specificity. Wattage tier notifications. So now, if a fixture wattage in the equipment type tab is outside of a measure's wattage tier, then the lighting tool will notify you that it's incorrect and one of those two needs to be updated. So in this screenshot example we have here, we've got a high bay and the wattage tier that's selected is 40 to 90 watts. But what was input in the lighting tool as being installed is 100 watts. So clearly 100 watts is outside of the range of 40 to 90. So you'll see in the wattage output section that there is now a notification that the proposed wattage is out of the measure range. So either the wattage will need to be updated to fit into 40 to 90 watts, or the measure tier needs to be adjusted to fit in with the 100-watt installation wattage. Okay, that concludes the major changes to the lighting tool. And as I had said before, the updated lighting tool is now available to all trade allies, and it can be accessed at energytrust.org/lighting_tool, or just navigate to the Insider page. As always, please contact your account manager or email lighting@energytrust.org with any specific questions. Thank you, and good luck on your projects for this coming year.